If you're an old head, you may be unfamiliar with the new age term aura, but essentially think of it as meaning charisma. The best way I can describe it is when certain people step into the room, you just feel a different energy coming from them. Think of a prime Michael Jordan walking onto the basketball court, or a prime Mike Tyson walking to the boxing ring. They're simply built different from most human beings, so I thought it would be fun to run through some of the fictional characters who I think have maxed out aura. In no particular order, I'm gonna kick things off with Darth Vader, and I mean, come on now, you goddamn well know that Darth Vader has crazy aura. Even from his first appearance walking over dead bodies of Resistance members, you just know he's the man. He's got the cool suit, crazy strength and abilities, James Earl Jones's iconic deep voice, and the mysterious labored breathing. It all just came together as a perfect storm of sorts to create arguably the most iconic villain of all time. Now, if you take into account that this badass used to be the cringe and kind of whiny Anakin from the prequels, then he does lose a bit of his crazy aura, but I think he deserves mentioning regardless. Next up, I'm going to give you a 2-for-1 because both Gus Fring and Walter White have aura. Now, I grouped these two together not just because they're from the same show, but also because they have similar aura. Walter White starts out as an unassuming, perfectly average, and harmless suburban dad, and Gus kind of has that same nerdy energy when you first meet him, but once Walt becomes Heisenberg and you pull the mask back on Gus's true personality, they are both super intimidating. That one scene where Gus takes out his own man with a box cutter just to send a message to Walt and Jesse is crazy. Gus also takes Walt out to the desert and tells him to his face that he will kill him and his entire family if he pushes him too far. With Walt, he essentially just becomes a maniacal villain at one point and just has countless scenes and lines displaying his aura. Say my name. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me cue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. I mean, if you watched either of those scenes and didn't feel any villainous aura from Walt, you're a damn liar. For the next spot on my list, I'm gonna pull a character from the Terminator franchise, and you're probably thinking it'll be Arnold because, well, he's Arnold, but I'm actually gonna go with Sarah Connor, especially in Terminator 2. I think Linda Hamilton is such a badass in this film, and the fact that her aura doesn't get outmatched by a prime Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of says it all. Hamilton provides a very authentic and assertive performance, and the fact that Sarah Connor is bringing the fight to Skynet, despite all of her trauma from the first film, is simply awesome. She's aura certified for sure. And another character who's often mentioned in a similar vein is Ellen Ripley, and I think Ripley is equally steeped in aura. Not so much in the first film. Alien was more about fighting for survival, and in order to keep the mystery of who the ultimate survivor would be, I don't think Ripley stands out too much from the rest of the crew until the very end, but in Aliens, this is where her aura comes alive. She has that lone survivor aura, if you will. The fact that she's the only person to have come face to face with a xenomorph and lived to tell the tale honestly gives her more aura than all of the trained Marines she's surrounded by combined. I mean, let's be honest, their big guns might have been compensating for something. Also, the way that Ripley just takes command in the face of danger is incredible. She's been here and done it all before, so she simply acts when she needs to. And that is a true sign of action movie aura. This next one is actually the only non-human character I'm going to mention, and it's Caesar from the recent Planet of the Apes trilogy. And just think back to that opening scene of War for the Planet of the Apes when we get that badass POV sequence, as Caesar was slowly walking up to address the captured humans. War General Caesar just hit different. He had a touch of gray in his hair now, and you could just see in his eyes that he was battle-tested and over this shit. I mean, he had so much aura that Koba knew he had to blindside Caesar and catch him off guard if he wanted any hope of taking him out. We all know how fighting Caesar head-on ends for his opponents. Also, War for the Planet of the Apes has one of the greatest movie posters of all time. Caesar riding a horse with a rifle strapped to his back in the snow? Are you fucking kidding me? This poster might be the definition of aura. There's a few Game of Thrones characters that I considered for this list, and it's perhaps an unconventional choice, but I think I'm rocking with Tywin Lannister. And I know he's not necessarily the strongest or most brolic character, but it's just the way that he talked to people that really made him such an intimidating force. He was strategic and calculated, which is sometimes more integral for Aura than just being a physical threat. Whether you were a king or an honored knight or his own son, Tywin was always ready to put you in your place and psychologically pick you apart. While Joffrey may have been king, Tywin Lannister was certainly the most powerful man in Westeros before his untimely demise. Also, the fact that he got out of the show before its great downfall certainly helps matters, as he wasn't tainted by the hit and miss writing from season 5 onwards. For all of my Walking Dead fans out there, do me a favor and recall the first time we caught a glimpse of Michonne, and try telling me that is not textbook Aura. There's just something about a mysterious character wielding a katana that makes them a certified badass upon arrival. Add to this that she was hooded and had 2 armless zombies chained to her, and her aura level was reaching 9,000 off rip. Like, I didn't need to know her name, her backstory, anything about her. She was already one of my favorite characters off of aura alone. And in this same vein, I'll give the Bride, Uma Thurman's character from the Kill Bill movies, a shout as well. For similar reasons to Michonne, she's a pretty aura-steeped individual. She's got the katana, the iconic black and yellow jumpsuit, and there's so many great action sequences in both films that it's hard for me to even pick the most standout. A revenge story in general is just a perfect setting to create an iconic and aura-maxing character. Her level of determination and powerful desire for vengeance certainly increased her coolness as a character. Continuing the revenge story theme, the last spot on my list is going to perhaps the character with the most aura in movie history, and that is John Wick. And this amount of ungodly aura was established for the character before he even picked up a gun. The sequence where John is taking a sledgehammer to the concrete floor of his basement, while we're simultaneously being told that he was the man that you sent to kill the fucking boogeyman, immediately set up just how dumb of a mistake Theon Greyjoy just made. And the action in this series is second to none, really. Also, the fact that Keanu Reeves goes through military-level training in order to perform a lot of his own stunts adds to the aura a ton. If you can watch John Wick on horseback riding through the city shooting people and not feel his aura, then there is something wrong with you and you need to seek medical attention immediately. Well, there you have it, some of the movie and television characters that I think are aura-maxing pros. Please let me know in the comments, who are some fictional characters that you think are absolutely steeped in aura. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for watching. Please feel free to drop a like or subscribe for more Scream Stories content. Until next time, peace.